Let me ask you something honestly. When was the last time you walked into your kitchen, first thing in the morning, maybe before your coffee was even ready, and felt that quiet little sinking feeling? You know the one. You look at the stove and there's yesterday's grease still sitting there. You run your finger along the counter and it comes back sticky. You glance at the backsplash and there are little splatter marks you could have sworn you wiped last week. And you think to yourself, didn't I just clean this? If that sounds familiar, you are not alone, not even close. Millions of people, especially after years and years of cooking and keeping a home, reach a point where they feel like the kitchen is just winning, like no matter how much time and energy you pour into scrubbing and wiping and spraying, it always goes right back to looking dirty within a day or two. And at a certain point, that stops being just an inconvenience. It starts feeling exhausting, even discouraging. Here's the thing though, that frustration, it's not your fault. It's not about how hard you're working or how much effort you're putting in. The truth is, most of us were never taught the right approach to kitchen cleaning. We were taught to clean reactively, meaning we wait until something looks dirty, then we scrub it. And that cycle just keeps repeating over and over forever. But today, that cycle ends. Because in this video, I'm going to show you one single step, just one, that acts like an invisible shield over every kitchen surface. A trick that takes about 15 minutes to do once and then keeps your kitchen looking genuinely clean for up to 30 full days. No daily wiping, no harsh chemicals, no scrubbing on your hands and knees. Just one simple treatment using things you probably already have at home. And I want you to stay with me all the way to the end, because there's a specific part of this process that most people get wrong, and if you miss it, the whole thing won't work nearly as well. So let's take this one step at a time, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you're going to feel like someone just handed you the easiest kitchen secret in the world. The problem explained. Before we get into the solution, let's talk about why kitchens get dirty so fast in the first place, because understanding the problem is actually half the battle here. Every single time you cook, whether you're frying eggs, simmering soup, boiling pasta, or just reheating something in a pan, tiny particles of oil and grease go airborne. You can't always see them, you can't always feel them, but they're there, floating through the air and settling onto every surface in your kitchen. Your countertops, your stovetop, your backsplash, even the fronts of your cabinets. Now, a single layer of that invisible grease film, not a big deal. You'd never notice it. But here's what happens over time. That thin film sits on your surface, then dust settles onto it because grease is sticky. Then the next time you cook, another layer of grease lands on top of that, and another, until one day you look at your kitchen and wonder how in the world it got so grimy so fast. That sticky, layered buildup is the enemy, and plain water doesn't cut through it. Even most everyday spray cleaners just push it around without fully breaking it down. So you wipe, and it looks clean for about half a day, and then that same grimy film is right back because you never actually sealed the surface against it. And here's what makes this especially tough for a lot of us who are a little older and a little wiser about how we want to spend our time and energy. Getting down on your knees to scrub, reaching up to wipe high surfaces, using strong chemical cleaners that smell overwhelming or irritate your skin, that's a lot to ask. And frankly, you shouldn't have to do it every single day just to keep your kitchen looking decent. What we need is a solution that works with the surface, not against it. Something that creates a barrier, a protective layer, so that grease and grime have nothing to grip onto. And when something does land on your counter or stovetop, it wipes away with almost no effort at all. That's exactly what this method does, and it's been used by professional house cleaners and hotel housekeeping staff for years. It's just never been talked about in plain, simple language for everyday people at home, until now. What you need. Now, I want to emphasize right up front, this is not a list of expensive products. You don't need to order anything online or make a special trip to a cleaning supply store. Everything on this list is available at your regular grocery store or big box store, and most of it you may already have sitting in your kitchen or bathroom right now. Here's what you need. First, white distilled vinegar. plain white vinegar, the kind that costs about $2 or $3 for a big bottle. Not apple cider vinegar, not cleaning vinegar, just regular white distilled vinegar. This is your heavy-duty grease cutter. Vinegar is mildly acidic, which means it breaks down grease and mineral buildup beautifully without damaging most kitchen surfaces. Second, liquid dish soap. Any brand is perfectly fine. Dawn is popular and works wonderfully, but whatever you have at home is absolutely fine. Just a small amount. We're talking a few drops, not a big squeeze. Third, a small amount of baby oil or mineral oil. Now, this is the secret weapon of this whole method, and I'll explain exactly why it works so well when we get to that step. You can find baby oil in the personal care aisle of any grocery store or pharmacy. A small bottle is inexpensive and will last you a very long time because you use such a tiny amount. Fourth, warm water. Straight from the tap is perfect. Fifth, 2 clean microfiber cloths. Microfiber is important here because it picks up and traps particles rather than just pushing them around. You can get a pack of them very affordably, often 4 to 6 cloths for just a few dollars. If you don't have microfiber, 2 clean, soft cotton cloths will work too. And sixth, an empty spray bottle. If you don't have one, they're usually less than $2 at a dollar store or grocery store. You'll be mixing a simple solution right inside the bottle. That's genuinely it. 6 simple items. No gloves required, no masks, no fumes. This is a gentle method, which means it's safe for your skin, safe for your lungs, and safe for your kitchen surfaces. Let's get into it. Step-by-step process. Step 1. Clear and lightly wipe your surfaces. Before we apply anything, we need to start with a clean slate. Don't worry, this is not a deep scrub. All we're doing is removing loose crumbs, any obvious spills, or anything sitting on top of the surface. You're not trying to make it perfectly spotless at this stage. Just clear away the surface debris. Take one of your microfiber cloths, dampen it slightly with warm water, and give the counters and stovetop a simple once-over. If there's dried food stuck on somewhere, let the damp cloth sit on it for about 30 seconds and it'll soften right up. Again, no scrubbing, no pressure, light, easy passes. We're just getting the surface ready to receive our treatment. The reason this step matters is simple. If we apply our protective coating on top of crumbs or loose debris, we'd be sealing the mess in rather than sealing it out. So we take just a couple of minutes to give everything a light wipe down, and then we're ready for the real magic. Step 2. Mix your cleaning solution. Take your empty spray bottle and add 1 cup of warm water. Then add half a cup of white distilled vinegar. Now add just 3 to 4 drops, not squirts, just drops of your liquid dish soap. Put the cap on the spray bottle and give it a very gentle swirl to mix it together. Don't shake it hard or you'll get a lot of foam, just a gentle swirl. What you've just made is a professional-grade degreasing solution. Here's why it works so well. The vinegar cuts through that invisible film of grease and oil that cooking leaves behind on every surface. The dish soap lifts and loosens any sticky residue, and the warm water carries both agents across the surface evenly. Together, these 3 simple ingredients work better than most store-bought kitchen sprays, and they cost a fraction of the price. Step 3. Apply and clean the surfaces. Now take your spray bottle and mist your countertops, the stovetop surface, and your backsplash with your solution. You don't need to drench the surfaces. A light, even misting is all you need. Let it sit for about 60 seconds. This is important. Don't rush this part. Those 60 seconds are when the vinegar is actively breaking down the grease layer. It needs just a little time to do its work. After 60 seconds, take your clean, dry microfiber cloth and wipe the surfaces in long, smooth strokes from one end to the other. Work your way from the back of the counter to the front, and from one side of the stovetop to the other. You'll notice that the cloth picks up a surprising amount of grime, even if the surface looked fairly clean before. That's the solution doing exactly what it's supposed to do, pulling up that invisible buildup you couldn't even see. Pay special attention to the area right around your burners and the edges where your counter meets the backsplash. Those are the two spots where grease accumulates the fastest and where the buildup tends to be the thickest. Give those areas a second light spray and wipe if needed. By the time you're done with this step, your kitchen surfaces should look noticeably cleaner, brighter, and streak-free. But here's the part most people never get to, and this is where the 30-day protection actually comes from. Step 4. The oil treatment. This is the secret. This is the step that changes everything. This is what makes this method completely different from just cleaning your kitchen the regular way. Take a fresh, dry microfiber cloth, pour just a few drops, and I mean just a few, maybe 4 or 5 drops total, of baby oil or mineral oil directly onto the cloth. You want the cloth to be barely lightly coated, not dripping, not soaked, just a very faint, thin coating of oil on the cloth. Now take that cloth and buff it across your clean countertops and stovetop using smooth, circular motions. Use very light pressure. You're not rubbing the oil in hard. You're laying down an ultra-thin, almost invisible coating across the surface. Work across the whole counter and across your stovetop surface. When you're done, the surface might look slightly shiny for just a moment. Take the same cloth, the slightly oiled one, and go back over the surface with a final light buff in long, straight strokes. Any slight oiliness will disappear, and what you'll be left with is a surface that looks completely clean and normal, but now has a protective layer you can't see. Here's the science behind why this works so well. Baby oil and mineral oil are what's called non-reactive oils. They don't go rancid, they don't attract bacteria, and most importantly, they create a surface tension on your counter and stovetop that grease and cooking particles simply cannot grip onto. Instead of landing on a bare, porous surface and bonding to it, airborne grease lands on this thin oil layer, and the next time you do even a simple wipe with a damp cloth, everything comes right off. Nothing sticks, nothing builds up. This is the exact same principle that professional auto detailers use when they wax a car. The wax doesn't prevent dirt from landing on the car. It prevents the dirt from bonding to the car. Same idea here, applied to your kitchen. Step 5. Don't forget the cabinet fronts. This step gets skipped almost every single time, and it makes a bigger difference than most people realize. The fronts of your kitchen cabinets, especially the ones right next to and above your stove, collect grease faster than almost any other surface in the kitchen. And because it's a vertical surface, that greasy film combines with dust and turns into a sticky, almost varnish-like coating over time. Take your spray bottle and apply a very light mist of your vinegar solution to the cabinet fronts. Give it 30 seconds, then wipe with your cloth. Follow up with just the thinnest application of your oil treatment, even less than you used on the counters. This will protect your cabinet surfaces the same way and keep that sticky film from building back up.
The final results. So now you've done it, the whole process. And if you step back and look at your kitchen right now, you should notice something that goes beyond just clean. The surfaces have a certain quiet brightness to them. The counters look smooth and even. The stovetop doesn't have that dull, matte film it usually has after a few days of cooking. Everything looks fresh, and it feels different too. Run your hand over the counter. It should feel smooth and almost silky, not tacky or rough. But the real test isn't how it looks right now. The real test is what happens over the next 30 days. What you'll find, and what thousands of people who've used this method report, is that your regular, everyday cooking doesn't leave the mess it used to. When a little oil or sauce splatters on the counter, it beads up instead of soaking in. A quick pass with a barely damp cloth, and it's gone in 3 seconds. No scrubbing, no spray cleaner needed, no soaking and rubbing. The stovetop stays cleaner between uses than it ever has before. The backsplash doesn't develop that gray-brown film that usually appears after a week or 2 of cooking. Even around the sink area, where water and soap residue tend to build up, you'll notice that things stay looking cleaner for longer. And the best part? You didn't have to buy a single expensive product to make this happen. You didn't have to use anything harsh or chemical heavy. You didn't have to strain your back or irritate your hands. You did it with vinegar, dish soap, a little warm water, and a few drops of baby oil. Simple, safe, and effective. Now, I do want to be honest with you about one thing, because I think trust matters more than hype. This method genuinely does keep your kitchen cleaner for 30 days, but 30 days assumes normal, everyday cooking and regular use. If you're cooking big holiday meals or frying heavily several days in a row, you may want to do a light refresh around the 2-week mark. That just means a quick wipe with your vinegar solution and a fresh pass with the oilcloth. It takes about 5 minutes and fully restores the protection. Also, a couple of surfaces where you'll want to be mindful. Natural stone countertops, granite, or marble are generally fine with this method, but if you have any concerns, you can skip the vinegar step on those specific surfaces and just use the dish soap and water portion, then proceed with the oil treatment. Vinegar is acidic and can, over many repeated uses, dull the finish on some stone surfaces. For everything else, laminate, quartz, tile, coated surfaces, stainless steel, you're completely good to go with the full method. For your stovetop, if you have a glass or ceramic flat-top stove, this method is wonderful and safe. If you have gas burners, remove the grates before doing the cleaning step. Wash them separately in the sink with a little dish soap, and when you put them back, apply just the tiniest amount of oil treatment to the grate edges. They'll stay cleaner longer, and any spills will be much easier to wipe off. One more tip that really helps maintain your results: try to keep a small spray bottle of just plain water near your stove. After cooking, especially after frying or anything with a lot of oil, just give the stovetop and surrounding counter a 10-second mist and single wipe while everything is still fresh. Don't let things sit and cool into a hard layer. That 10-second wipe when the kitchen is still warm takes the place of a 10-minute scrubbing session later. It's one of the most valuable kitchen habits you can develop, and once you get into it, it becomes completely automatic. Well, there you have it. One simple step, well, really a few simple steps built around one powerful idea that keeps your kitchen genuinely clean for 30 full days, without the daily wiping, without the scrubbing, and without the exhaustion that usually comes with kitchen maintenance. I want you to try this, not because I think it'll impress you, but because I genuinely believe that after years and years of working hard to keep a clean home, you deserve a method that actually works with you instead of making you work harder. This is it. Vinegar, dish soap, warm water, and just a few drops of baby oil. That's the whole secret. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Did you try this? Did your kitchen surfaces feel different after the oil treatment? Was there a surface in your kitchen that surprised you with how much buildup the vinegar picked up? Leave me a comment down below and tell me your experience. I read every single comment, and your feedback genuinely helps me make better videos for you. And if you found this helpful, if this gave you even one aha moment about how to keep your kitchen cleaner with less effort, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you don't miss what's coming next. Because next time, I'm going to show you the exact same kind of one-step trick, but for your bathroom. Specifically, how to keep your shower and sink area looking spotless for weeks at a time, without scrubbing, using just 2 common household items. It's just as simple, just as effective, and I think you're going to love it just as much as this one. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, take it easy on that kitchen of yours, and I'll see you in the next